trouble with that is that in a lot of the countries where it is legal, the patient doesn't make the decision, the doctor makes the decision. So no, in that case, I don't think so. I think the patient should have the right to decide whether or not they're going to end their life.
No, I don't think it should.
Why is that?
It'd be too difficult to determine who's should be and who shouldn't be and who's going to make that decision. I don't think it happens enough accidentally already.
I would say that it could be legal. It could be legal in some circumstances, I feel like, because people who maybe on life support or something like that need the plug to be pulled and their family members would like that to happen, and that's completely different than other circumstances that would be.
So like having like set rules, like you can only do it if this or this or this kind of thing?
Yeah.
Right. You think the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, if it's just a situation where somebody's ill, then I do believe that person should have the right to make that decision for themselves. So I think if as long as it's under certain guidelines, I think it should be legal.
No, I'm for vasectomies. No. Because does it inhibit constitutional rights and amendments potentially?
Okay.
When they're capable of making it, yeah.
It depends.
Like what?
Depends on probably your experience, how educated you are.
Oh, that's a packed question.
It depends.
Yeah, it always depends.
On what?
I feel like the world's determined in its own ways, so you don't really have as much free will as you really would like to have. But at the same time, your mind can control some different choices than other choices. So,
What do you think?
I think that was a good answer.
Yes. Well, if we can do that for animals, we should be able to do it for ourselves.
I believe in the sovereignty of God in all things.
I'm not sure. That would depend partly on the proportionate population of the two countries. And also because I suspect a lot of the people who ask for it are probably terminally ill.
I bet it would have the potential to be a lot more.
the Netherlands to America, I don't think that. I think it'd be about the same. I mean, if they legalize it and we legalize it, it would be about the same because of the people with the certain type of illnesses that would require for that. They would be about the same in both the Netherlands and America. So.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that probably would just because it's an easy cop out. I mean, but if like I said, it should only be used for medical purposes, not just because you're having a bad day, you don't want to live anymore.
No.
That's a tough one. I'm not really sure how to answer that one.
That's really hard to answer. Just thinking, is that possible? I don't know. If I did, I'm sure there's ways I could do it versus just having it medically done.
Yes. Yeah. I think that it would be important to have that opportunity to be able to do that if you were in that much pain and if you were suffering that much, you would want to be out of that pain. And I think that, like I said before, I think it needs to be determined on some other level, maybe with family members and things like that too, because there's sometimes when, I mean, it should be at the patient's discretion, but at the same time, you would need some sort of guidance so that people aren't just committing suicide here and there for no reason.
So like a surrogate's input on it.
Right.
It should be my choice.
No. I like the pain.
What if I were in a lot of pain? Would you euthanize me?
Absolutely. Does that contradict all my prior answers? Yes.
I think I'd agree with that.
It's, I don't want to say crazy, but it just doesn't sound very possible here. Realistic to me.
Like I said before, I think that it's good to have the opportunity to be able to say that if you want to end your life or not, and if you're in that much pain, and if you want to end your life, you should be able to. I think that I agree with people who say that it's okay to do that, because they should have the option available.
Makes sense. You think the same thing?
Yep.
I agree with that. I mean, if you have the opportunity to do that, and like with Alzheimer's, there's been some states that have allowed that to happen, where they get a kid, and they can take all their own medication when they know that there's a point where they don't want the family has to suffer through all that. So, yeah, I would do anything.
I think that the Lord can work through our pain, and that's an option that we should really consider.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be for either, but if it were, then I suppose it would be, they're going to make it for everyone, not just people physical, but also mental. But there's so many ways to get better mentally, or even possibly physically.
Yeah, that's where everything gets kind of put in a blur, I guess, right?
Right.
So, because on one hand, your emotional pain is physical pain. So, I would say physical pain, it's really easy to say. You have somebody who's close to death and experiencing something that's worse than death, so you might as well end the pain right there and end their life with it and make it so it's less painful for them. That's where it gets easy. And then you say something like emotion. You bring emotion into it, and I guess the same thing kind of follows. You say, well, is death better or worse than the emotional pain? And in some cases, I think that it could be, but like I said, it has to be under people's digression, and there has to be some sort of boundaries that need to be, or checklists that need to be checked off before that kind of thing happens. But I think that physical pain and emotional pain almost are one and the same sometimes. So with physical pain, it's really easy, but with emotional pain, I think there's a lot of gray areas. So yeah, it's a complicated question. I don't think I can answer it.
It's hard to prove whether someone's really just pissing and moaning, or they really to the point of where they can't live life. I mean, that's that touchy saying. Where do you draw the line? I mean, that's I don't agree with just because you're having a hard time with life that you should be able to be put down. I mean, I think it should be a physical more than it should be a mental.
No.
Works.
But dogs and cats, yes. Not lizards, though.
What if it was a person that dressed up as a dog?
And ate a cat.
It's still no.
In my sleep.
Of old age in my sleep, probably.
Asleep
Yeah.
without me knowing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Quick.
I think like fighting in the ocean, fighting off a pack of narwhals with a sword would be the best way to go. It's honorable, and it's just super cool.
What if a narwhal were to stab you with its horn and you started to painfully bleed out?
I would just keep going, you know? Maybe take the horn out and just keep on going.
What if, like, a great white shark began to attack you?
I would obviously stab that great white shark with my narwhal horn. What kind of question was that?
For the good things.
Yeah, not the latter. I'm sure the better things.
Easy question. I mean, it's obviously the latter, or the first, because you don't want to be remembered in pain. You don't want to remember weak. You want to be remembered as a strong individual, somebody who led a good life and who wasn't brought down by anything, who was always up. So.
Good answer.
Remembered by the good things.
Both.
Explain.
Well, there will be happy memories, but I could be diseased and dying when I die.
So you would rather that...
I think I'd like a balance of the two. The reality that life is morbid and short, that there's a brevity of life, and that I could die from gangrene, but that there are still memories to be lived and remembered of life.
I like it.
That's kind of hard to say because, especially from a historic perspective, I mean, it's like Adolf Hitler had a family. There's an interesting story about him, and that he had a Jewish doctor who he absolutely adored. Have you heard this before? Yeah, and yet, so there may be some people that had good memories of him when he was a child, and that, but nothing's going to erase what he did. So I'm not sure euthanasia would really have an effect on that or not.
No, because probably they wouldn't make it to that point until they're already like that anyway. They're not going to be like they were. Even, it's not like you're going to be totally healthy and then say, oh, you just got diagnosed with cancer, you're going to suffer this horrible death. Let's just do it now. I don't think it would be that way anyways. So I don't think it would work.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the key aspect of it, is having somebody call their own shots and then really determine how they want to be viewed after they're gone, and to be able to decide what time you want people to see you, and so it's directly correlated.
Just because you have the opportunity to pass away on your own will doesn't mean you've done good things. People are going to remember you by good things. I mean, it's not a guarantee in anything. However you die, nothing's guaranteed that somebody's going to remember you in a good way or a bad way.
I think it should be legalized with certain conditions that need to be met, because people should have a choice ultimately, about whether they need to live or die.
I would say yes. There's certain circumstances that definitely that needs to happen. People that are on life support for years and years with absolutely no medical advancement to help them.
Well, I think it should, but only, you don't have to use it. Because, say my grandma's suffering, and she's like, pull the plug. Not pull the plug, she's my grandma. She's my grandma, I'm not gonna not pull the plug, okay?
Yes. Say if someone was raped or killed and they for sure knew what happened, then yeah, they should be killed. I mean, I don't know. It's like a tooth for a tooth type of thing.
Well, euthanasia is like if someone's dying and you pull the plug on them kind of thing.
Oh, see, now I'm thinking euthanasia like they do something wrong and then you kill them, just like animals.
No.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, I guess that's what, that's what the proper term for it.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yes.
No, because ultimately it would be the patient's decision, not the doctor's. Doctors can only say so much, but ultimately the patient can decide if they want to stay with that doctor or choose a different one. So
I believe that there are doctors out there that are corrupt, so yes, that could happen.
Not at all.
Why is that?
Because they have the right to do that. Oh, hold on. Alright. But yeah, they have the everyday right. Like, it's their call. If it's legal, then they have the right to do that, but like they don't have to do that. It's a choice.
No.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, if you're in a coma, who would know, right? I mean, crap.
I gotcha.
It's not like you know.
yeah, because the courts are pretty slow, unfortunately. So yeah, I mean, unless we get it to the point where we're like, having a judicial system that deals solely with euthanize, like patients that want to go through that, then it would delay a lot.
No, I feel like the courts would be pretty on top of things. They'd be like, we gotta get in and out,
Yes. Yes. Man, that was a long question.
Ultimately, I guess if a patient really wanted to, it's their choice ultimately, not the choice of others. So, if they're willing to deal with the thoughts of the people around them, I don't think, I think it's something that you would know in your mind already what you wanted to do or not. It's your decision, you shouldn't be basing it off what others think. And if your friends are going to peer pressure you to euthanize yourself when you choose the other option.
Not your friends.
Not your friends, yeah, exactly.
In certain circumstances, it could put pressure on them.
No, I think it's all a moral choice. I think no one's going to feel pressured into pulling their plug on their dying great-great-grandmother unless they really feel like they should.
Again on video.
Oh, yeah. You gotta say that on video.
Will you say that on video? Oh, I'll just say hi, Mr. Runyon. Hi, Mr. Runyon. Hey, that's me. Okay.
All right.
What do you want? I'll take it.
So, are you for or against euthanasia?
I'm against it. Well,
Okay.
why?
I just have a few questions. Do you believe that euthanasia should be legalized in the United States?
Is this euthanasia for people or animals?
People.
Oh, okay, I'm for it. Depends on what they do, though.
All right, next set of questions.
Never mind. I guess for animals, I'm against it, but people, I'm totally for it, though.
Makes sense. So, do you believe euthanasia should be legalized in the United States?
Yes. Say if someone was raped or killed and they for sure knew what happened, then hell yeah, they should be killed. I don't know. It's like a tooth for a tooth type of thing.
Well, euthanasia is like if someone's dying and you like pull the plug on them kind of thing.
Oh, see, now I'm thinking euthanasia like they do something wrong and then you kill them, just like animals. Yeah, that too.
Okay, so yeah, so it's like if someone were to be shot and you decided not to help them, that would be like euthanasia.
But if that's what they pre-planned, but if you don't know what the person wanted, and say if they're never coming back, like doctors are like, this is never gonna happen, they're never coming back from this coma, then yeah, probably. I'd pull the plug.
Okay, gotcha. So you believe in like self-determination, like determining what's best for yourself all
Yes.
the time? Obvious question.
I feel like that would make sense. Yeah.
Everybody should.
No.
A physician's role, this is going to sound like I'm trying to change your mind, but I'm totally not. It's just like school questions, so don't feel like offended because I asked like a certain question because it's not like from me. It's from this meeting. So a physician's role is to save lives, not take them. Do you think that making euthanasia legal would corrupt the soul of medicine and make patients lose trust in their doctors?
No.
And why is that?
Well, if you're in a coma, who would know, right? Crap.
I gotcha.
It's not like you know.
So this is a little big. Making decisions on whether to have treatment is usually between the patient or the surrogate and their physician, but can sometimes result in the court's presence. If euthanasia was legalized, then it would more than likely cause the presence of the court to be required whenever someone requests it. If the court decided that euthanasia was not acceptable in a certain situation, then do you think that just means that the patient would have had to wait longer for life-saving treatment and therefore like enduring more pain than they would have otherwise?
Yes. Yes. Man, that was a long question.
Yeah,
My God, who's your teacher again?
Mr.
Brad.
Martin.
Yeah, I guess I'm happy I didn't have him.
Yeah. So you believe like if euthanasia was legal, that would potentially just make people like suffer more pain than?
Yes.
If euthanasia was available, then some think it would deny the people the alternative of staying alive as default. If someone was terminally ill and chose life over euthanasia, then do you think that opinions of others around them who think euthanasia would be a better option would become a subtle pressure to request it?
Yeah. Yes.
I guess it could give them some sort of excuse, but I mean, ultimately, they still murdered someone if that person didn't have it. If it wasn't, like, I think euthanasia should be one of those things that's, like, it should be under the, like, under the sight of a, like, physician or someone, you know, like, that's properly trained for that, and, like, murders definitely aren't physicians.
I think that's up to the police departments and the courts to investigate. I don't think that they need an excuse.
That is not a statement that I necessarily agree with, and do not feel that it in fact has anything to do with anything being said.
Oh yeah, I guess I didn't think about that. Yeah. Yeah, it would.
Who decides what's morally wrong or right anyways? But I guess in terms of like what you're saying, it shouldn't be, I mean like someone might think that drinking alcohol is morally wrong, but should we prohibit alcohol?
Well, not totally, no.
Why do you think that?
Because there are cases that need it and cases that shouldn't have it.
Who decides whether something's morally wrong or not? What are the morals that are wrong or right? Sir.
No.
And how so?
Oh, morals are just morals. It's what every other person believes in. So that doesn't mean like, you know, if you believe in something, then everybody believes in something. So.
Alright guys, we're going to be learning about euthanasia through this fun little puzzle set here. Wait, what's this? Fire? What? That's weird. That's crazy. It's caught on fire. What's this? Lighter fluid? Oh man. How did this... Oh, that's just insane. Who would do that to a nice puzzle? Gosh, the poor puzzle. What happened? Oh no. Oh, how are we gonna build it if it's on fire? That stinks. Darn. Still on fire, huh? Wow. That's crazy. Man, I didn't see it do this on TV. It's like false advertisement. This is crazy. Just combust out of nowhere after I put a match and lighter fluid on it.